Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Seth Kniep, Kniep in It Real. I work hard so I can play accordion. I work hard so I can play accordion. How you guys doing? Good to see you. Today we have a very special, kind of a one-off kind of interview, and we are going to be interviewing some special guests. These guests are high-end sellers. They're doing very, very well in a very short amount of time. Some of them short amount of time. Some of them have been selling on Amazon for quite a while. But first, okay, team, thank you so much for your patience. I'm coming back, and okay, I can see you guys. Awesome. So how's everybody doing?
Good. Everything's good.
What time is it over there, Reza?
6:20, 23.
6:20, 23 p.m. Okay. It is 12:23 p.m. here. Okay, so I'm going to introduce each of these guys first, and then we're just going to go straight into Q&A. So first, I'm going to start with Saad, David, and Danilo, which you guys already know. They have just recently started a new business together, and they're doing 1,700 revenue a day, and they're grossing around 20,000 just in the last 2 weeks. So you're looking at easily, and they're ramping, easily 50,000 a month, and then going up from there. So as a very, very new company, it's pretty impressive. And so that's why I wanted to bring you here. You know, they're not going to go around bragging a lot about what they do, but I get the opportunity to do that for them. So if you're talking to someone who's doing 20,000 in 2 weeks, I would definitely listen to what they say. Second, I want to introduce you to Reza. He is very new to our team. He is doing 100,000 a month, and he's doing this in Europe. So he is new to the U.S. His market is new coming over here. But he's been in Europe for a while. He does these incredible products, which I'll let him share whatever he wants to is fine. But at 100,000 revenue a month is pretty impressive. So that's awesome, Reza. And Usher is a king of retail arbitrage. Did $1 million a month, $1 million a month in retail and online arbitrage. Usher knows what he's doing. To add to that, he just started private label. That's why he joined our team so we could teach him private label, new to private label. And he started this month, and he already did 18,000 in revenue. So the people you are talking to are very high-end sellers, and they know how to make things work on Amazon. So I highly recommend you guys listen to what they have to say. They're going to give you, there's going to be no BS in this. They're going to tell you the hard stuff. They're going to tell you the easy stuff, and they're going to help you whatever they can. And this is something I want to do more. And thank you guys for being willing to come out and say, yep, here's who I am. Here's what I'm making. Like, I respect that, because I know that's not easy to do, because the more someone makes, the more protective they become about how much they make. So anyways, the honor is mine to be able to host this, and thank you so much, guys, for being here. Usher, just want to make sure we can hear you. Okay, say something.
You
hear me? We can hear you. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right. And what's super cool about this, guys, is if you think about it, every person right now in this video is from, speaks different languages, is from a different part of the world. Like, it's incredible. Think about it. You know, like look at us. We are all different people, but what's one thing we have in common? We're here to build passive income. We're here to help people do that. That just blows my mind. Something about the fact that we are all here for one reason. We want to crush it, and we want to help other people crush it. We want to do it in a way that legitimately helps people. And that's why we are so focused on keeping it real. So I'm going to hand the mic over to you guys, and we're going to start with questions. So Christine says, satellites out over Brooklyn. Very nice. Sure, how is Brooklyn, New York?
That is good. Finally.
So that's awesome. All right. So guys, questions. Here we go. Ask questions. This is your chance. If I was new to this program, I would be like jumping on this opportunity right now to ask questions. Like, this is not a moment you get. And I want to share this really quick, guys. These people's time is extremely valuable. You know why? For the money that they make, taking an hour out of their day to do this is a huge gift. Huge gift. So take this time, take advantage of it. For them being here is an honor. They're not getting paid for this, they just want to help. So I just encourage you guys to think about that. Okay, so Jacob asked this question. What's the process to reaching 100,000 a month? Take it away, guys, whoever wants to share.
Let's go, Usher. You do it.
Private label or arbitrage?
Let's start with private label.
Private label is a much longer process. Private label, you got to build up your items, and you can't expect that you're going to sell 100 an item a day. You gotta really have a goal. You want to sell 15, 20, 30 items a day of each item, and eventually build it up. You'll have 10 items, 15 items, 20 items, 30 items. And if you add it up, you're making $3, $4, even $5, $10 each. That adds up. You'll make 100 grand very fast.
Yeah.
Retail arbitrage is a whole different ballgame. You know, if you're proof of categories and you hands-on items, you could do that easily. But today it's very difficult to get a proof in items. So it's a different game today. Changed.
David?
Here, what you guys think? We're making right now incredible numbers with only 3 products, which is it just amazes me how fast this thing can grow. It's just amazing. If you find a good product, like a really good product, you can. I'm pretty sure that you can get to 100,000 per month. We're talking about really good product. We found 2 really great products. The other one is doing good, but not awesome. With these 2 products, we're doing great. Just yesterday, we ordered almost $20,000 in email. Because once that you keep going, you start making the money. You get so now the sky is the limit. So yeah, it's not that hard as you think. You just have to find the right products and it's easier.
Susan asked, what markets are you guys working on? So guys, when you ask a question, please use the question mark on the little button there. That way we know to focus on the questions, because we use this time for questions. And by market, Susan, are you referring to which markets are they selling in, as in like Europe, Raza is selling, or the US, where the rest of us are selling? Or are you referring to the actual product categories? Any of you guys want to speak to the product categories you're selling in? And maybe to talk a little bit about how being in a right product category is important, but it's not what's going to save you or break you. Like, I've seen people do very well in super competitive categories, and some people do well in less competitive. It depends, but speak to that a little bit.
Seth, you were cutting a bit. I couldn't hear you very well, man.
What product categories, what product markets are you guys selling in?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Asher.
I'm only in the U.S. and it's a big market, and I don't have any experience selling anywhere else. I have a lot of friends that sell in the UK as well. It's a little challenging with the VAT and all the compliances and everything, and you have to be insured for the merchandise. A lot of people were making money through that just by not paying the VAT, and they were counting that as profits, and they cracked down on that. So it's not a market that I'm very familiar with, and I never got into it. But the biggest market is the U.S. market, and I'm busy enough with that. So.
Yes.
Susan says, thank you so much, guys, for sharing your time. I'm really appreciative. So that's awesome. Thank you, Susan. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, what I do, I sell retail arbitrage in Canada, because I'm from Canada, and I do my private label in the U.S. I had a very good success in Canada retail arbitrage, just because the competition is very low compared to the U.S. So that's why I'm doing well. And as everyone knows, that I started with retail arbitrage, made my money, and then I moved into private label. And now, thank God, the success is. I'm doing well with the private label in the U.S., which is the biggest market. I think moving in Canada is a little bit, the demand is not the same. So that's why I start with the private label right away in the U.S. I think it's going to take off easier than Canada. That's how I do it, man.
Susan asked this question: how much investment do you guys start it with? And if you guys could answer the question both from now where you're at, and with what if you were starting over today, you had no cash or just a little bit, what would that look like? How much investment would you start with?
I'll go ahead with that, because I start with very little. I start first with 1,000 in the retail arbitrage. I flip them. Then I start investing more and more until I reach a good amount of money. And when I got that money, I invested in private label. I started with $3,000.
One sad, Danilo, and I.
Okay. Sorry. So I start with $3,000 in private label. I get good money, then invested that again in another product, and now actually our investment as David said, we're just placing orders now for $20,000 because is the only thing about I think Amazon is momentum. If you are in it, you need to just to keep going at it. Keep going at it. Don't stop. That's the only thing. If as soon as you stop, I think you lose the momentum.
That is
Keep at it
so
and-
true.
Yeah.
That is so true, because what happens is some people, they're expecting results in 30 days, and if they don't see them, they just start focusing, and all of a sudden their BSR starts to go up, which is bad, instead of continuing. Over time, it's momentum. It builds faster and faster and faster, and your knowledge gains as well. That's so true. Can you guys still hear us okay? I see two of the screens went black. Zah, are you still with us? David, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. The connection is not good.
Usher and Saad, can you see Reza or David?
I can see everybody. Fine.
Okay.
I'm seeing 5, including me. So
Okay, cool. Maybe it's just on my end. So
I don't know everybody's names. So
okay, no problem, man. So I'm gonna ask this question to Reza. Reza, what do you do, says Christine, if you have a product and it does not produce at that level? And I'm not sure what level she means, but I said a level that is, making a lot of money in the first 2 months. Do you drop it or do you move on? What are your thoughts on that, Reza?
Reza's picture is froze.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't hear
it's
anything.
gone.
Anybody want to take that question? What do you do if your product is not going anywhere for the first 2 months?
Usher, go ahead.
you got to improvise. I mean, you go down in price, you play around with it. I mean, if it's I'm assuming you're asking about a private label item. I don't have that much experience with private label. That's why I'm in this course, and I'm just coming out with a lot of different products. But in retail arbitrage, usually if it's going to go or if it's not going to go, because it already has a BSR and you already see the ranking for the past year, and if it's a seasonal item, when it's going to move, so you put it away until season. Sometimes, like I'm doing winter items, clothing and stuff like that. I order it all back, whatever didn't sell, and I send it out again for next season. In private label, it's a different game. So I don't have the experience in private label, so I can't really answer.
Reza, could you talk a little bit about what is the process you go through?
Yeah, sorry about that. I got disconnected for a while. Yeah, so I mean, I haven't done AR or PL. We started with a factory. We started manufacturing products for a solution, for a cleaning solution. And we tested the product on Amazon. We did that 7 years ago. And it grew very fast. I mean, we reached very, very fast our targets on Amazon. And the thing is, when you sell on Amazon and when you want to test a new product, and if it's your own product, Amazon is perfect for branding because it's cheap and you get the test very fast. You'll know if people like it or not, right? So you do a product and you get a lot of good feedback. You got a good product, and then the retailers are going to start coming after you and say, "Hey, can we put the products in our stores?" Right? So right now, I'm generating 3 times more revenue every month from retailers right now. Sending it out to retailers than I am from Amazon. And I think it's a very important idea to look at Amazon not just as Amazon. Look at it as global. Look at it as a way where you can grow your product. If you have a great product you're selling on Amazon, don't limit yourself to Amazon. Distribute your products to everybody. Get it into retail if it's good. Why not? You still make more money. And get into everything. Get into all the e-commerce sites that there is. But Amazon is just a beautiful place for you to do branding.
Okay.
Get your brand in there, grow very fast. And with the strategies that we have right now, I have 4 products and I do about 130, 140K a month, 4 products, right? And I haven't even started United States yet. I started United States like a month ago. I'm already doing about 20 grand, 25 grand a month just with 1 product. So it's just about, I think, the reason I like Amazon is that take a product, make it, customize it, brand it, protect it, and sell it. And you don't know where it's gonna go. It might go fast, it might go slow, but test it. That's why I love Amazon. It's a perfect testing field for products.
So what it sounds like you're saying, if I was to summarize it, Razat, is put your focus and your heart into providing a solution that is needed, and focus on an amazing, incredible product, and then advertise it on Amazon as a platform. But don't let Amazon to make your money for you, because Amazon's just a platform. That's all it is. There are numerous ways in which you can be selling products out there.
Exactly. I mean, tomorrow Amazon might shut down your account, right? You still have to pay the bills.
Yep. And they can do that without repercussion. They could just, hey, see ya, Seth, Fred, Saad, bye. Like they don't have whatever. They have the right to do it because it's their platform. So you don't want everything to depend on that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Really good. Let's do this, guys. Everyone mute your mic until you talk. It'll help with some of the feedback we're getting. So it's if at the middle top, one button over, it looks just like a microphone. When you hit it, when you mute it, it's on a blue. Okay, so I'm going to take the next question from Nancy Usher. How long have you been doing retail arbitrage?
About 5-6 years. You hear me?
Thank you. Yeah. And then Fred says, when you are scaling, how do you manage so many items, accounting, etc.? This question is for anyone. When you're scaling, how do you manage so many items, including accounting and everything else?
I'm not understanding the question. How do you manage it?
So do you guys hire people to work for you? That's one question. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
And can you guys talk a little bit about what does that process look like?
I don't have the perfect process. I have about 12 people working, and on it, sometimes I need more people. I get temporary workers, but the process could use a lot of help. But it works. Some companies, that every single item is accounted for, and everything gets scanned in and scanned out and whatever. But as you grow, you learn.
Fred, I pay someone to do all my accounting for me. I used to do it myself in a spreadsheet, and I don't do that. It's not a good use of my time. And since this is where they live and what they love to do, they take care of that for me. So that helped the accounting side. As far as hiring help, I usually hire contractors, not employees. I found a lot more success that way. And there's less responsibility in tie, but I find people who I can trust, and it gives them a certain level of independence. So if it's for a one-time thing like photos, I'll pay someone. If it's ongoing, I have an assistant who takes care of communication, things like that. So what about you, Razat? What are you doing as far as help? Do you have employees? Do you work with contractors? Is it a team? What does that look like?
I have no employees. I outsource everything. I check 30, 40 emails a day, so I put an hour into it. But I outsource everything. All my marketing, all my development, all my invoices, everything is outsourced. And I have companies taking care of it. So because I've experienced, I had employees, and it's just headache. Now the technology is so good, you can hire a team in India, pay them $200-300, and they can do all your invoicing, and they can do your Amazon listings. They can check it. They do customer service. I mean, they can do everything. You don't need to, you don't need to have an office anymore. So everything I have is outsourced.
So pretty much you're just managing it. So you're paying someone to do this part, someone else does this part, someone else does this part, and you're managing the process, making sure you're still making a profit. So you're not doing everything yourself. That's very smart. What would your guys' advice be to someone who's new? Like they just started out, they got $1,000 or 1,000 pounds. That's all they have. So they don't have it like, paying someone $200 to do something. I mean, that's 20% of income. So what would you recommend they do in that situation if they're just starting out and they want to get to the level where you're at? What advice would you give them, or what encouragement?
I would recommend everyone do it by themselves. If you have $1,000, I think in the beginning you have to feel the pain. You have to do it yourself. You have to do everything by yourself. It's one-man show. I started the same thing, one-man show. Everything is I did it. I didn't sleep. I was like 13, 14 hours on my laptop. I gained 30 pounds because of it. So you know what? It's a lot of work to be into it, a lot of sacrifices. I took time from my family, but that's the way you do it. And after that, when I found the right people, like partner up with someone, then you ease up. Now have more time for myself, for my family. Like I partner with David and Danilo, so it's easier not to delegate the jobs. Hey, David, you do this. Hey, Danilo, you do this. I do that. So now I have more time. So easier, even instead of hiring someone from India, I hired someone from Florida and one from Georgia.
Nice. You can go by state, you can go by province, go by country. And what I found too is different parts of the world are good at different things. So I have a lot of people in Russia are really good at helping me understand hacks. People in Western Europe are really good at doing 3D rendering of photos. Like it kind of depends. Some people in the Philippines are awesome virtual assistants. Like if you understand the more you understand the world, you find there's different expertise, and that arbitrage can really help as well. Where they're getting for them, that's really good pay, but it's also a good deal for you too. Yeah. So, here's a great question. How many hours a day do you dedicate to your business? So let's just go through. So we'll start with Saad, then Usher, then Reza, then David. How many hours a day are you dedicating to your business?
For now, I mean, for the business itself, I don't think I dedicate more than 1 hour or 2 hours. Just checking my listing, make sure everything is right, make sure that I don't get any bad feedback, any bad reviews. Try to handle some refunds if there is some to be handled. Other than that, I'm a little bit busy, as you know, with the retail arbitrage and interviews with you and having some clients that I need to coach. But my time is getting there more than my business, which is my business doesn't take that much. That's why I like private label more than retail arbitrage is amazing, but private label gives me more time. So, I mean, you can ask Asher about how many times he works.
My son just told me I work 27 out of 24 hours.
I have a better question for Usher. Okay.
Yeah.
How many hours do you sleep a night, brother?
How many what? How many what?
How many hours do you sleep a night?
I'm lucky if I get 3.5.
He's not lying, because I know this because I communicate with him. You know, I'm like, oh my goodness, he's still going, sleeping.
Well, last night I didn't sleep at all, so a lot of nights I skip. But, yeah, too many hours, especially now with trying to do private label and the retail arbitrage and wean out of the retail arbitrage. But yeah, it takes a lot out of you.
How about you, Reza? How many hours a day do you dedicate to your business?
I dedicate, because, well, Amazon is not my primary business, but I dedicate about an hour and a half where I check right now, because I'm starting United States right now. So I've hired a really good coach. I don't know if you know him. And so right now I'm doing a lot more hours with Amazon United States. But I want to say this, guys. Look, money is great. Yeah, money is it's really beautiful to have a lot of money, but health is also very good. So don't overstress yourself. I mean, you know, I get 8 hours of sleep. I don't stress out. I mean, health is number one, because if you don't have the health, then what are you going to do with all the money, man? You know, can't use it. And so don't stress yourself out. I mean, make a plan, be organized. If you're organized and if you make a plan, you can start with $1,000. It's you know, it's a step. You can start. If you can partner up with some people. I always say this, everything I do, I always find somebody who's really good at it and I partner up with them. So this is the best way. Get a mentor, you know, even if you have to.
Thank you, Reza. Hey guys, remember to mute your mics so we don't get that feedback, all right? So if you're not talking, please make sure your mic is muted. All right, cool. David, how many hours a day do you use for your business?
I wish I can be like Reza. I get yeah, it's stressful. I gotta be honest with you. I ask a lot for myself. You guys can hear me well, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. For example, yesterday, Danilo, Sal, and I, we were having problem with one of the supply because this guy just couldn't keep our demand. So every time that we ask for more units, he have a different problem, and we were whining about it for a whole week. And I thought, hey guys, we gotta take action on this. I know it's hard because you gotta work. I mean, start contact suppliers. I mean, it's a headache. But we did it. We went 5 o'clock 5 o'clock in the morning. So, well, just today, we sleep a few hours. But man, it was so great. We were so happy. We changed suppliers in a night. We find the right guy. Do you guys still hear me? I mean, the connection is really bad.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the results were set. I mean, we saved over $6,000. I mean, I can tell you, it was so. I mean, we found to hug each other. I mean, obviously we couldn't do it because we were away from. But we found the right supplier. It was a manufacturer, big manufacturer. It was so great. But I mean, when you work hard and you hustle, I mean, you're gonna see the result. I know it's a lot of stress, but I'm a big believer. You work hard to live better later. So awesome. I would say, I don't know, I sleep around 5 hours per day, I think.
Thank you, David. Sorry if there's a little overlap. It's just a connection issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask each of you guys individually the rest of the questions so we can get more questions out. And be succinct in your answers as much as you can so we can get more questions answered. So here we go. I'm going to ask, let's see, Reza. This is a great question, brother. What is your method for product selection? How do you determine what product you want to sell?
It's very good.
Okay, well, I look at the market, and I look at solutions. I look at how do I find a solution for a problem, right? Look at yourself. When you wake up to the day you go to the time you go to bed, what do you do? What do you use? What do you say? What do you want, right? Think about that. And then take those things that are important to you. It needs to be important to you. It needs to be things that you like. It needs to be things that you're concerned about and that you like. Take those problems and find solutions for them, right? And then when you find a solution for these kind of problems that you have, you add an item. You find an item to it, and then you develop the idea. And before you know it, you have come on, we all have ideas in our heads, right? I mean, since I was 7 years old, I had ideas in my head. Take those ideas, make them into a product. Do some research. It's not difficult to make products. I mean, look, what you guys are doing right now, you're buying from China, you're buying from a factory in China who's got the design rights to make a potato cutter, right? Somebody designed that potato cutter, gave it to Chinese. The Chinese have the design rights. They're manufacturing the potato cutters. They're giving it to the broker. You're buying from the broker, right? And then you're OEM it, and you put your private label on it. But there's 1,000 people that can compete with you. And these are the problems that we have on Amazon, is that we have the same product but different labels, and everybody are competing about the reviews and the sessions and this and that. But if you have your own product, your own tree, your own brand, nobody can compete with you. It's yours. Nobody can take it away from you. And you can start OEM your product if you want to other people, right? So you do AR, then you do PL. But the last step in this business is make and develop your own products. Get into get the designer rights, and you can do it. You can do it in food, IT. You can do it in clothing. You can do it in all the sectors. Some of them have a lot of regulatory, a lot of regulations that you need to consider, and you need to go through a process. I mean, food is a bit difficult, but IT, clothing, what can I say? I mean. Potato cutters, kitchen accessories, stuff like that. They are very easy to make. And one more thing, guys, don't forget, you live in the greatest country on earth, made in United States. If you have a potato cutter that costs $1 from China, and you have a potato cutter that costs $2 from the United States, which one would you buy? Are you not ready to pay an extra $1 to get the one from made in the United States? Because it's going to have better quality, it's going to have RD behind it, it's going to have branding, all those things. So think like that.
I like the progression from retail arbitrage and online arbitrage to private label to your own product, which is exactly what the growth stage is going to be all about, which I'm super excited about. And here's a thought, you guys. Did you see the progression that Reza talked about? When you're doing retail arbitrage, your risk is low and your turnaround fast. Great place to start. When you go to private label, your risk is a little higher, and your turnaround slower, but it's much more passive income. But you're dealing with a lot of competition. When you move to creating your own product, the risk is greatest. It takes the biggest upfront investment, like $30,000 to launch one product. It's very normal. But then once you launch it, you have complete control over it. And now you have other people buying from you and selling it on Amazon. So you're not just selling it to customers, you're selling it to retailers, you're selling it wholesale. You have all these different avenues and categories. So awesome. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see, how does it differ selling in the UK and Europe compared with the US? So this is interesting. So Reza, you sell in Europe so far up to this point, a little bit in the US. The rest of us are selling in the US. I'm selling in Canada, but not Europe yet, even though I have an account for the UK. So Reza, could you give us a short answer? What is it like selling in Europe compared to here in your experience? And then we can share our perspective as well.
Okay, well, the customers that we have in Europe seem to be a bit more, how can I say it? They're a bit more aware of what they buy, and they have a lot of questions, and they're very skeptic. You know, if they spend a euro, they want to make sure that that euro is value for money, right? But my experience in the U.S. is just a few months, but I can feel it's much easier to sell in the United States. I mean, people just buy the products; they don't ask a lot of questions about the products. You know, it's just easier to sell. But the European market is just, you know, you have some barriers from these cultural, from France, Germany. I mean, these people are highly concerned about the environment. They're concerned about regulations. They're concerned about what kind of paper packaging you use. You know, these kind of stupid little things. They're concerned about it, and it's because that's the way the Europeans are. You know, everything in the United States is big, large. You got, you know, you're consuming, you're spending. Europe is just, you know, it's just the opposite. You know, people save. We don't have big cars. We have small roads. We recycle everything. You know, when we drink a bottle of Coke, we give it back, and we get money for the bottle. You know, it's super eco-friendly, super green. You know, we have a lot of green energy here. So the mentality of those two cultures are so different. It's crazy. It's crazy. So the consumers are different.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, man. Eric says this: where all do you advertise now for private label business? Twitter, Facebook, blogging, website. Saad, how are you advertising?
Actually, it's a good question. I think people are really hearing a lot of noise from outside. They're saying, oh, do Pinterest, do YouTube, do an outreach. I think you should first exhaust your options in Amazon platform, which has the most accurate data ever. So I would go with PPC with Amazon, maximize it. And then if you don't see results, then you can do an outreach for YouTube, Instagrammers, and everything. But people are, I don't know. I think this is a mistake also me I wanted to do. I want to go do an outreach. I want to find a YouTuber. I want to find an Instagrammer. No, I found the best result that I ever find is from PPC. So I would urge everybody to do PPC. Learn how to do PPC correctly. Try to know how to manage your campaigns well and find the right keywords. And I think you will find a lot of success.
Especially because they're already there on Amazon to buy. That's why we're there, right? So absolutely 100%. And the launch stage takes you guys all through how to do a complete ad campaign and then how to reach out to social media sites and examples as well. Risto, good question. How to make retail, I'm gonna ask you this one, Usher. How do you make retail arbitrage in Amazon with low percentage of issues? How do you check price from the supplier? So I think his point is with a low percentage profit and checking prices from supplier, how do you figure that out? And yeah.
I'm not getting the question, sorry. Well, could you
so
explain
how
it?
do you find, yeah, if you're gonna buy a product from a supplier, sell on Amazon, how are you checking for those prices?
What it's selling for on Amazon. You know, you could see what it's selling for on Amazon. You know, in retail arbitrage, usually the case is that you're not making your own listing. You know, there are some cases where you make your own listing. There are some times when you could bundle the item, and you could, you know, you have an item that's, let's say, ranked number 90 in electronics, and you go bundle and find a solution for it. And it's gonna be very easy to rank, and you should be ranking like 400 in electronics, just piggybacking off that listing because you're giving a solution. But usually the item is already on Amazon, or you're adding it to an existing page in clothing or stuff like that. So you know what the price is. You know what you're going to get back for it. So you know what you should pay for it, and you make a decision. Everybody's different. Some people like making 10% on retail arbitrage. Some people want to make 30%. You know, an item that you're going to sell 300 a day of, you're fine making 8%. You know, but you know, it's all up to what kind of how you want to do business.
Awesome. Thank you, Usher. Susan, David, I'm going to give you this question from Susan. David, how many products did you start with, and how soon do you add more? I can't hear you, David. Here, I'll get to Reza. I'll ask you this one. How many products did you start with, and how soon did you add more?
I started with one product, and then after 6 months, I launched my second product. After 6 months, I launched my third, and then after another 3 months, I launched my fourth product.
So single launches, very focused, in-depth launches, right? Not doing little ones all, but you're super laser focused on one launch. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
I would suggest if you start with one product.
Hey, David, could you mute your mic, brother? Because it's causing a feedback, and I can't hear Reza. Hey, David. Okay, here I'm just going to go to the next question. Thank you, David. Okay, cool. Jake Baghdadi says, how many items are in your shop for retail arbitrage? So I'm going to post this question to you because I need a lot of retail arbitrage experience. So when you're doing retail arbitrage, how many items do you recommend having ready to go? How do you determine the quantity and the inventory and all that?
If you're not a wholesaler like Usher, which is crushing it, Usher is amazing. I'm very impressed what he's doing. I mean, he's an amazing seller. But for people who are just starting, I think you should get 4 items of each product. Go wide, don't go deep, and be able to find few products and sell them. When you become more experienced, for example, like Usher, I think he buys in hundreds and pallets of products because he knows how to manage them. He knows how which product is going to sell at what percentage. As he said, 8%, he's happy with it, but he's selling huge volume. But for small sellers who have $1,000, $2,000 they would like to invest, I think 4 units of each product or each SKU is enough. Multiple SKUs are better than going with one product only. I don't know if Usher agrees with that.
My first item was a GoPro camera, which somebody told me you could actually sell on. You could buy online. I bought it from Overstock with all the rebates and everything, you know, and the credit card points, and you figure it all out. And you find a spread. It was ranked number 10 in cameras. I bought 500 pieces and sold it within a week and a half, making about 15%. And it just took off from there. I never believed that's such a thing that you can move 500 cameras in a week and a half. And, you know, it opens up your eyes. And I knew nothing about it. I barely knew how to send out an email. And 5-6 years ago. And you start finding products, you know, you start searching, and it's like a magnet, you know. You just find something else, you find something else. Next thing you know, you have thousands of SKUs, you know, in retail arbitrage.
In the Millionaire Mindset book, he says, whatever you focus on is what's going to grow. And it's true. Focus on your relationship, they get better. You focus on your health, it gets better. You focus on your business, it's going to grow. So back to what Reza said, if you want a holistic life, focus on the things that matter. I want to be healthy. That's why I work out almost every day. I want to be able to run fast. My son can beat me in a race now. He's only 18 and he's freak fast. And I was fast as a kid, but I think I'm getting a little bit slower. But focus on what you want to grow. That is the key. Amanda says, how many products did you have to get to 100,000 a month? So I know Reza mentioned 4 products, but we're talking about full-on launches, his own products. Tell me if I'm wrong, Reza. And very in-depth, huge launches. Not private label, but his own product. When we reached 20,000 a month on Amazon, we had 5 products doing 90% of the work. for me and my wife. So just to give you an idea, it's better to find a product that's doing really, really well than have tons. But it's like what Saad said, when you start retail arbitrage, you might have more. And then as you move on, you're narrowing more, like private labels here, and then your own product here. You're doing fewer, but you're going deeper. Bigger investment up front, but a lot more money in the end. Jacob says, do you have any employees, virtual assistants, et cetera, to keep that level up? So Jacob, I'm not sure who you're referring to. If you could just clarify who you're referring to. I know Reza contracts everything out. He outsources. I know that Usher has like 10, 12, 13 employees. I know that I do not have any employees, but I have contractors. And I believe Saad and David, you guys contract out, correct? You do some contracting on your own? Okay, yeah. Eric says this, private label question. Have you always focused on niche, or did you always focus on all of them? Whoever wants to take this question. Did you always focus on one niche, or do you try to focus on all of them? How do you determine what category you want to be in? I think I know what Reza's answer is going to be to this one. But you guys go ahead. Whoever wants to answer this.
I'm all over the place.
I mean,
That's my man. That's my man. That's what I do.
Whatever I think I can make money on, I'll just try to make money on. So any category, anything that I could get approved for, that I see a spread or whatever. Now, as far as private label, I feel the same way, because on Amazon, it doesn't really make a difference if you're doing it for Amazon reasons. You could concentrate on the brand later. First, you need some success on Amazon, the route that people are going over here. And if you have, let's say, in sports and outdoors, you find a product, and then you find a health and personal care product, and you can always come back to sport. Eventually, you'll have 8 products, sports and outdoors, and you can build a brand on that. And you can reach outside Amazon, and all of a sudden, you'll have in health and personal care 12 products. And then you're going to have in tools and home improvement, and you'll have in kitchen. You can be all over the place. Then you could redesign the store, and you could separate the brands a little bit. Rename some brands. You could change things. And even if you have even if you under some generic name, you're on 10 categories. On Amazon, it doesn't make a difference. They're buying the product. They're not really following the brand. They're going by the ranking. They're going by reviews. They're going by where you show up on the page, and that's how you're going to get the sales on Amazon.
So this is really interesting. I want to point this out. So if I Reza and Usher, you guys have different philosophies for how you run your business. Very different. And I'm not saying one's better than the other, but very driven by very different philosophies. And you're both succeeding. So think about it, you guys. There's 2 different philosophies here. For Ushers, follow the money, wherever the money is. Like if you find opportunity here, go here. Here, just keep growing out. And for Reza, it's like, you know what? Look at yourself. Look at needs world. Solution, very specific, something that matches with your passion, and drill in on that and crush it in that category. Am I right, Reza? Did I say it accurately, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing wrong with AR. I mean, if you can do it, it's difficult. It requires talent. Everything is difficult, but if you can do it, do it. And if you want to do something more private, more personal, then do your own brand, do your own product. It's not difficult. You just got to do it, But whatever you do, just do it. Don't sit and don't do nothing. Just do it. And get a mentor, get someone that's doing it, get a coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just crush it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. Sorry, man, cut there just for a second. Here's a thought too. Guys, do the things that cause your heart to be fulfilled. I know that sounds super, I don't know, counseling like, therapeutic like, but truly, like, do something where you've, man, I feel good about this day. I spent my time in a way that is meaningful. Your business is going to reflect your values. So the better you know yourself, the more it's going to reflect who you are and what you love. Usher is like, he's a crazy hustler. Like he's just always finds these opportunities, And Reza, he's drilling deep and pushing a brand like crazy. There's a lot we can learn from both of them. Susan says, I mean, whether it's Amazon.com, UK, or Canada. Gotcha. Yep. And Reza definitely spoke to that question. Christine asked this question. Are there products that can offer amazing results in all categories, or do you need to focus on certain categories? So I'll address this one. So for products, Christine, you're going to be limited in what category you can sell it in. But if I understand the question correctly, you're wondering, should the focus be focus on the products or focus on the category? And I think, again, to use Usher and Reza as an example, Reza's focusing on a category. Usher's focusing on a product. and both work. The question is, do the one that works for you and crush it. You can do either. Let me say something, guys. There's no magic ticket to anything I've done, or David, or Saad, or Usher, or Reza. There's no secret special sauce. There really isn't. It's not like there's like this special, if I get this right, tactic, oh, it's the category, oh, it's the, there isn't. Here's the one thing I know that we have in common. This is a reflection of our life, and we will do whatever it takes to succeed. The reflection of who we are, and we love what we do. Bottom line, that's why we're here. So I encourage you guys, these are great questions, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, make sure you focus on, well, what can I take, what's meaningful to me, and I'm going to run with this and own this for myself. That kind of mentality will get you so much further. And then as you go, do what Reza said, reach out to people who are better than you, smarter than you, more wealthy than you, and get their help. My son and I just got out of a meeting, an hour and a half, almost 2 hour meeting with a guy, multi-millionaire. He coaches us every week, every other week. Every month we're in a group with a bunch of people from Apple and Google and Facebook CEOs, and then every other week he and I meet. And he just coaches us and asks us questions. We get on a whiteboard and he's teaching me stuff. He's growing me. And I put myself under him because I know he's going to help me to be more successful. Okay, so Serena says, Usher, do you have a favorite category you sell in?
No, not really. There are some categories that I'm not in, but I don't have a favorite category. I just, I
Follow the money.
Yeah, I follow the money. I started retail arbitrage and just started moving along in the retail arbitrage, whatever deals I found. Private label, I'm kind of doing the same thing. So.
Saad and David, did you guys have any business experience prior or before doing private label?
Yes, I did. I had my own. It's very bad. By trade, I'm a mechanical engineering technologist and tradesman, but I actually had a car wash before, so I had a little bit of business experience with that. But Amazon, I had no.
Yes,
I never bought anything from Amazon at all. That was my first time. I just was online. I was like, how can I make money with my truck? I had a truck. I was like, how can I make money with my truck? And then I saw FBA. I was like, FBA, what's that? So I started looking into it. And that's what got me into everything. I started studying very well, and I just became very knowledgeable about it. The only thing I think people that they think that everybody, I was the same spot. I was in the other side of this webinar. I was like, oh my God, it must be something. It must be something. These guys are making money. They're fooling us, whatever. You guys know, I started with you in the group. You saw me, what I was doing. You saw that I started with the same level, and now we reached that. It's just about keeping at it. Just about keeping at it. That's all what I think it is.
Yep, and keep learning. You can't put a price tag on knowledge. Go ahead, Dave.
In my case, since I got to the United States, I'm from the beginning. I started my business and I did it. I got to get from. So when I started with Amazon, I think what it helped me was the fact that I know what you need to be patient. You need to hustle. I didn't have any experience with Amazon whatsoever. Did anything for Amazon before. It was my wife's job. So that was how to get there. This month we have been great. I don't think that you need any specifically to be successful in this business.
These are awesome questions, answers, guys, and I want to thank you again. I want to honor your time because it's 11 minutes past 1 p.m. Central here. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here and to help others. And everyone, please thank them or reach out to them on Facebook and thank them. Again, they've built their businesses to a point where the value of their time is very high. And if you look at it just from a financial point of view, this is a huge, huge gift. People pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get this level of insight and advice all around the world. So I just want to thank you guys so much for being here and for sharing this. If there's one thing I can take away from this, it is this. At the end of the day, you stand in the mirror and it's up to you to make it happen. Put people around you who are better than you. Go out and make it happen and crush it. You can. Remember, your success isn't based on, well, this person is more experienced or less. It's based on what you're willing to do with the life that you've been given and And one thing that drives me every day is the fact that every time I spend 1 hour, I can't get that hour back. So I want to spend it well. And if you apply that principle to your business, you'll make smarter decisions. You won't analyze and analyze and analyze. You'll actually do. You'll do it. Launch the product. Take the steps that matter. You guys have an awesome day. Keep it real. And we will talk very soon. See you later. Bye.